James 3, verse 12. My brothers and sisters, can a fruit tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come down from heaven, but is earthly and spiritual, demonic. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness. This is the word of God. Today's message will be delivered by Reverend Young, entitled, Take the Seeds for the Next Harvest.
My dear brothers and sisters, may the grace of God be with you all. Today, I'd like to share with you the topic, Pick the Seeds for the Next Harvest. You set a date as November 23rd, because this is a sermon I preach in Taiwanese, Mandarin, and youth worship service. Say, aha, you repeat your sermon, you can be lazy. No, because this is a sermon for the whole church to listen. Because a sermon for the whole church means connections and unity. In the past, I may feel, and many may feel, EM is EM and EM only. And now we hope EM brothers and sisters feel more at home with Shuangling Church. Feel that we are part of Shuangling Church, Shuangling Presbyterian Church, and we may build up the real connections with the different parts of the whole church. In the past, we received care and resources from Shuangling Church. And now, in the future, we wish to contribute back. Contribute our strengths, our spiritual gifts, our resources for the whole church. Together, we may see the church is expanded. And the day by day, the Lord made it to our number, those who were being saved, like as the teacher had told us. Today, I want to begin with the biblical exegesis. The book of James is quite interesting, one from the beginning. I mean, interesting was interesting. This is the one which was the last to be included in the New Testament. Not because we don't know the author, like the Hebrews, because the book of Hebrews is quite the one we feel very, very upset because we don't know the author. We don't even know the school of authors. But the text is good. So we feel very upset with Hebrews. In the last, it was included in the New Testament. But James is another case, quite different. We may agree that the author is Jesus' little brother, James, or we call Jacob. But the contents, the contents is quite upset for us. Because the contents is about behavior and actions and all others. There's little about faith or saved by faith. So, you see, unless he was included in the New Testament, during the Reformation, the controversy, raised our dear brother Martin Luther, quite detested James. He felt that it should be thrown out because there is no salvation by faith, but only actions and behavior. The kinds of teachings are useless, are against his slogan, salvation by faith. Well, we thank God because Luther doesn't have that kind of authority to throw anything out, or we will have only 26 books in the New Testament. But different people feel differently. From my favorite theologian and church leader, John Wesley, the small John, I thought that, James is quite good because James talk about behavior and actions. Because John Wesley lived in a world where Christians sing against God. He was an Oxford scholar, but he saw the Oxford scholars, students and teachers, drink all the time, sing all the time, went to the wrong places all the time. When they confess, they believe in God. Their behavior, their actions were all wrong. Even their face looked like quite good and correct. So, one of the famous teachings from John Wesley was about devil's face and Christian face. Can you understand devil's face? He said that Satan has face because he was the angel and chief angel, archangel, standing in front of God. Did he know God? Oh yes, of course. Did he know God well? Oh yes, of course. He knew God very well. But what is his response? He hated God. He was trembling in front of God. So, it's not that face, but faith and love will distinguish devil's face from Christian face. And that is in James chapter 2. So we see the difference. John Wesley also liked to remind us, like Jesus teaches us, we should be examined by our fruits. It means the result of our work. We tell the tree from their fruits. So that's also in James. Through today's verses in this season of harvest, we want to check the fruit, the seeds, and to reflect on our life in this year. We want to know more about how we have done this year. We want to think deeper about planting and harvest. Through our reflections in the end of this year, we may prepare good seeds in our life and for the next harvest. I want to share 3 points with you in this sermon. The first of all is think about harvest before planting. Think about harvest before planting. Today's verses say, "In the fig tree, my brothers and sisters, yield olives, or grapevine figs. No more can salt water yield fish. Who is wise and understanding among you? Show by your good life that your words are done with gentleness, born of wisdom." We should not think about harvest when we harvest. Again, we should not think about harvest when we harvest. It's too late to change anything at all. We should not think about harvest after planting. It's also too late to change anything at all. We should think about harvest before we plant anything. There and then we think about harvest. We should evaluate then and there before planting. Again, before planting. Because the Bible tells us every harvest is from the seeds. What kinds of seeds we plant and the efforts of planting. But it is pity that we often cannot clearly through this. The simple truth for a farmer who live a simple life to know. We hope harvest wisdom, purity, peace, kindness, gentleness, mercy, tolerance, and honesty from others when we are planting all kinds of things. Bitterness, jealousy, quarrel, pride, lies, lust, disturb, and all other bad and evil things. We behave like demons, and we hope, we expect to be treated like angels. We act like demons, and we expect to be treated like angels. And we are just not aware and pray for God's blessings. It's quite wrong. My dear brothers and sisters, please think about harvest before you plant anything, and see the prize before achievement. For those who plant goodness will harvest goodness, and those who plant sins will harvest sins. And let us be aware of that the God who gives us is the God who checks before acceptance. The God who gives us is the God who checks before acceptance. The second point, see our harvest when we are planting. See our harvest when we are planting. When we are clear with our goals, the only thing left is to carry out these efficient actions. However, doing right things does not guarantee that we have praises and applauses as a reward. No, not at all. Sometimes doing right things means that we will face more social prayers, more human weaknesses, and more temptation of giving up happily. When we face all of this, there is one thing that helps. Only one thing can help. There is one thing can help us insist on daily work, cultivating, watering, wiggling, trimming, and the extra. That is the harvest which is already in our heart. That is the harvest which is already in our heart. That is a harvest we already received through our faith, through our eye of faith. During the time when we cannot see through the future, when our hands are sore, when our legs are tired, and when our eyes are blind for the salty rain of sweat and tears, we can carry on. And we are carrying on only because we have the harvest in our heart. We already received it in faith. Because of this, we will not shake. Even the foundations of the world are shaking. The harvest is in our heart. Remind us day by day that our goal is clear and every action is important. The third one, we should pick the seeds, the good seeds. I leave the good out of title so I can attract your attentions. We should put good seeds, not bad seeds, okay? Pick the good seeds when we harvest. When the harvest is almost there, we see the fruits beautifully high upon the branch. Our heart is raised up. Our heart is excited. We are happy, but we need to be cautious when we harvest. Do remember, we should not harvest all things, and we should not harvest anything. We should not harvest the things we have planted, and others planting, and all kinds of bad things from the field. In this season, we only harvest two things: grains and veggies for the winter time and for emergence, and the seeds, the really good one, for the next year's planting. These seeds are the best, the most beautiful ones with the power of vitality. These seeds are the guarantee for the next harvest. Thus, the Bible reminds us harvest is a lesser checkup. There and then, in Matthew chapter 13, 24, verses 24 to 29, the story Jesus told, the good or the evil, the righteous or unjust, the sinful or the kind will present themselves. They will be sorted and separated. Thus, when we check out our harvest, we should pick out all the bad things and the rotten fruits. From this process, we may make sure that what we have are clean is good quality. Moreover, not only we clean our seeds, we clean our field. We need to clean our farm and garden to make sure we plant clean seeds in clean and rich soil. We need to clean our farm and garden. We need to clean our field. My dear brothers and sisters, how about your life? What are the good seeds in your life? What are the rotten fruit in your life? Do you have any rotten fruit in your life? And the wise Creator, the Lord of our life, help us to judge so that the goodness in our life can grow prosperous and harvest more goodness. And the rotten fruit in our life will clean out, preventing their spread. In the end of this sermon, I would like to tell a story with you. I want to share the life story of Gregor Mendel, father of genetics. Gregor Johann Mendel was born in Australia. His family belonged to the highest offspring of Moravian creatures. You know, I majored when I was undergraduate in college was agriculture, so I like food and farm. So I share this story about a farmer who became father of someone. Okay? This family was poor, very, very, very poor. They didn't have their own farm. They rent lands to plant things to harvest. Mendel was the only son. You see, he was the only son. But otherwise, he helped his parents farming the land, watering the veggie garden, and taking care of the sheep. But his father found out, wow, my son great. My son great. So his father thought education was a great opportunity for Mendel. Financial difficulties made Mendel's education on and off all the time. Each loaf of bread and each piece of butter were precious gifts from home farm. Mendel remembers the grace and love from his family members. And when later he was able, he supported his little sisters two sons in their medical education. Poor financial support, lack of nutrition, and the struggle among school, daily life, and work made Mendel pay with his physical health as the cost. At last, his professor, Frederick Franz, suggested him to join in the Augustinians. Sorry, that's hard to read. There, he could find both financial support that he can have things to eat, and he can read. Because, you know, in that kinds of group, nothing but a lot of scholars write. Everyone had a lot of doctors. So you could find a lot of teachers there if you can read. So, Mendel followed Professor Franz's advice, and people say there are two geniuses from Augustinians. One is the one who hates Jesus. That's Martin Luther, who turned the world upside down during the Reformation time. The other one is Mendel, who also turned the world upside down with his research and experiments. He was the father of genetics. One of Mendel's most noticed experiments is his research about pea plants. Did you ever eat peas? We eat peas all the time, but we don't understand peas at all. Mendel studied 7 traits that seems to inherit independence of other traits. Seed shape, flower color, seed coat tint, pod shapes, unripe pod color, flower location, and plant height. From his research, analysis, and records, revolutionary results come out. His experiments led him to make 2 generalizations: the law of segregation and the law of independent assortment, which later came to be known as Mendel's 2 laws of inheritance. The fruit grew out of a small baby garden, became a great discovery that changes the understanding of humans to the natural world. Mendel concludes research and experiments with 2 papers published in 1865 and 1869, but they were forgotten and left in the library for years and years and years. It was until 1900 Mendel's achievements were rediscovered. That was 16 years after his death. Never saw it. Never saw it in his lifetime. Because of these kinds of prophetic vision, Mendel lived a lonely life. He's failed to understand. It is in his insistence that he was loyal to the mission which was entrusted by God. Researching peace, okay? Researching peace. Researching the mystery of life and creation. Thanks to him, God has a wonderful and unique plan for each and every one of us. Has deeper meaning. Because we now know God writes his plan for us in our gene map. God writes his plan in our gene map. Yes, we now see the blueprints of creation in the map of genes, because Mendel was faithful to the end of his life. He still speaks to us through his research and essays, long after his death. Mendel lived an uneasy life, but he did not let his life become a stream of salty or bitter water, an acre of a barren land. He did not plant the bitterness, jealousy, feeling of mistreat, or hatred in his life. He made his life an acre of land with creativity and prosperity, expressing the mystery of God's creation. Because of him, we now understand that God speaks not only through the Bible, but also through the world God created. His life story and his achievements are the seeds of goodness. He cleaned up his negative emotions, and he made sure even his failures were nutrient for his work. He left only the best fruit of his life, continuously witnessing the glory of God to his word, talking to us through genetic codes. This is witness. How about life? How about our life? In the season of harvest, let us pick the good seeds. Let us clean our field of life. Let us prepare for the next harvest. Let us pray together.